posted a video on my social media channels and to discuss my journey to becoming a vegetarian. And I wanted to break the discussion up in different parts so that way you can understand how did I get here. So for those of you that will be joining later, I just want to thank you for your support and those who follow me and have been so supportive of me. I really want to thank you. Thank you so much, honey. All right, so let's get into it. All right. So, what led to me getting here? Well, first of all, I am about to be 50 in a few months, and I have been reassessing my life, like where I am mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, looking at my health, just thinking about my overall well being. I've lost a few people near and dear to my heart. And so, with all these different life changes, having all these brain surgeries, knowing what actually runs in my family as it relates to sickness, diseases, and all of that, it just really made me think, like, wait a minute, Desi, maybe you need to do something different now. I wasn't sick. Since having all those brain surgeries, I do have a few side effects from the surgeries, but it's nothing that alters my life or prevent me from doing anything that I want to do. But it's just, I just want to be able to maintain my health. And considering all I've been through with those surgeries, I wanted to take a different approach. So prior to declaring being vegetarian, I was drinking a lot of water every day. I would drink about 10 bottles of water a day, and it kept me so full, and definitely I was on a rotation, honey, if you know what I mean, going back and forth on a rotation. And that's how, I noticed a change in my skin. I took a break from work. That was a great decision for me, and it definitely yielded what I needed at that time in my life. In addition to that, I noticed a habit, and I noticed that I wasn't necessarily eating meat every day. And I was like, wait a minute now, if I'm not eating meat every day, let me actually implement something. So I started eating meat every other day. And then the next week, I choose a different approach. Instead of doing meat in my diet, I decided to switch it out for seafood. I chose fish, in addition to vegetables and all of that. And I realized that it is a process when you're changing, right? So a lot of people try to go cold turkey and say, okay, I am not eating meat for a week or 3 days or whatever, or a whole month. And then they backslide, or they, feel like they fail because they cannot do it. And I realized the secret to this journey is you have to wean yourself off of things. So if you've been doing something all your life, or something that you know of that you've been doing for so long, it is really, and I try not to use the word hard, but it is a challenge to try to change if you've been doing this all your life. Culture influences a lot of things. Traditions influence a lot of things in our lives. And so therefore it makes it really difficult to break away from certain habits. So that's why it's important, like when if you're a mother or a parent, anybody, when you have a child and the baby loves a pacifier, right? And at some point in that child's life, you want to get that child off that pacifier, right? So you have to wean that child off that pacifier. It takes time, but eventually it happens, right? So the same with us. When we've been doing something for so long, we have to wean ourselves off of it. And so for you, you can set personal goals for yourself on things that you want to wean yourself off of. And that way, eventually, it will become a habit, and it becomes easier as time goes on. Now, a lot of people come on social media and they love to bash people for not being where they are. I am not that person. Some of you may never desire to become a vegetarian or vegan or whatever it is that you want to. I mean, that some people are like me, right? You don't desire to do that. Well, if it's something whereas you just don't want to eat meat every day, just try to eat meat every other day. I believe, and this is me, I believe something in the meat is not clean. I believe also something in the milk is not clean. Something in that these dairy products are not clean. I believe that. That's just my belief, right? And so since I've been on the journey, I will say some of the benefits that um, I have experienced as a result of not eating meat is that I sleep better at night. I am that mental clarity, like I mentioned before in the previous video. I have more mental clarity. I feel like I'm more calm. Um, when choosing food for my diet, and it is a diet, and some people try to stay away from that word, but not only is a diet becomes a lifestyle. So you really have to start with a diet first in order for it to become a lifestyle. And so if you can't get to that point of saying I'm going to diet or I'm going to fast, you got to take the steps to get to that lifestyle. You don't just adopt the lifestyle automatically. You have to take steps to it. And there are baby steps initially. And once you get to that point, then it becomes easier for you. Not only easier to transition, but then it becomes a lifestyle. You look at what you're putting in your body. You really think clearly on that. Now let me tell you, honey. Let's be clear. This sister here, let me tell you, I'm just gonna be myself, and that's one reason why I don't do videos, because I am so myself, and I know my personality is not one that most people like, because I'm from rural Georgia, honey, and I love my accent. And so let me just be clear about this. On this journey, and it is a journey, it is a personal journey. But let me not lose track of thought here. I love food. Honey, I love food, and I love trying new restaurants. I love to eat. I used to love meat, and I have nothing against anybody who still love meat, who don't even plan to transition, or whatever. I mean, you probably saying like, why are you going posting on social media about going vegetarian? People do it every day. Yeah, they do, but this is personal for me. It's more personal for me than anything, because I don't know. Some people go vegan or vegetarian because they were diagnosed with cancer, but let's pause there. I would go out and eat all the time. And as I would go out and eat, honey, let me tell you, I spent money on some food, honey. I would spend money on good food. I will spend money on good food. And I was going out to eat about 3 or 4 times a week. And I had a strategy for eating out, honey, because I always like to have a little leftovers for the next day or whatever. I would cook breakfast or whatever, but for lunch, I would always go out for something. Dinner, I would go out for, a nice quality meal or whatever. And then on the go, honey, I would love my Chick-fil-A. I know they miss me, honey, because it's been a while. And so, but anyways, I would do all of that. Now, since I've been eating healthier and I've been more conscious about eating healthier, I only go out and eat once a week. And so when I go out to eat, I go to a vegan restaurant. And so I do that. Last week, I decided not to go out and eat because I said I can do that at home. So what I do is on Sundays, I meal prep. And so I meal prep, I cook my veggies, prepared for the week, and I have my snacks. And I know you're probably saying, well, Desi, what do you do? So what I do is I'll bake my sweet potatoes enough for up to 5 days. I'll cook some kale. I steam the kale. And then also I may also steam carrots. And I have my 3 vegetables for lunch. Then I have my snacks, that I prepare. I may have a bag of walnuts, a box of raisins, And then I love plain Chex cereal, the corn brand, and I'll just put those in a Ziploc bag. And then that morning for breakfast, I alternate. What I do for breakfast, I may have an avocado toast. If I don't do that, I may have a handful of walnuts and drink a cup of coffee. So I've already had my walnuts, and this is my coffee. It's black coffee. And pray my strength in the Lord, honey, because I'm trying to get off this black coffee because it's not being good to my teeth. But honey, I love it, you know. That's my morning delight, honey. Excuse me. But in addition to that, you know, that's pretty much what I do every day. There's some frozen options that are vegan options, like chicken tenders, crab bites that I eat, and even the veggie burgers as well. You know, those veggie burgers are pretty good. Now, I don't consume a lot of frozen items. I just try different options. And I also always look at the ingredients on the back. So I always encourage people that when you're choosing healthy choices, it's very important that you read those ingredients on the bag. Some people cannot have a lot of sodium because of their diet, their health, high blood pressure, or whatever. So you got to know what you're capable of doing, and you got to know what you're capable of eating. Now, drinking all that water, you know, a lot of people, because of their health, they cannot consume a lot of water. You know, too much is not good for them. Now, let me tell you about my little water journey, honey. My water journey is I was drinking too much. It started making me feel a little miserable, so I had to decrease my amount of water that I was drinking. So I still drink it. So anytime I drink coffee, prior to drinking a cup of coffee, because my Aunt Mary taught me this, is to drink a bottle of water before you drink that cup of coffee. And then if I just want another half a cup of coffee, I drink another bottle. So I'm flushing my kidneys. A lot of times people don't flush their kidneys. You know, I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. And I'm not bashing anybody that do, right? But you got to flush your kidneys, honey. It's so very important that you flush your kidneys, and you need to drink water. I don't prefer tap water. I prefer, you know, purified water, alkaline water. Those are the type of waters that I do drink. Again, walnuts are, you know, eating nuts. You know, nuts are very important. Now, there's one thing that I learned along my journey is that, you know, for people who desire to lose weight, is that if you eat according to your blood type, that would help aid you in losing weight. I used to love peanuts, and I realized peanuts were not good for me based on my blood type. So when I stopped eating peanuts, I noticed a difference. So those are some of the things that I want to share with you. Again, that mental clarity, I'm not fatigued. I wasn't fatigued prior to starting this journey, but sometimes I would experience fatigue. And I'm not as fatigued anymore. You know, like I said, I don't drink coffee every day. I used to drink coffee every day, at least 5 days a week, honey. Now I have eliminated coffee at least twice a week. So every week I'm finding something to eliminate, something new to do to incorporate in my diet. Because I plan to be healthy. I plan to be around as long as God will allow. I want to enjoy my grands. I want to watch them grow. I want to see my daughter continue to excel in life. And I want to be here for my family. Now, I believe you can do anything you put your mind to it. And you know, just because you are at a certain weight right now, you could be underweight, overweight, or whatever it is, you still can do it. You still can do it. And I want you to know that pray about it. You know, I had one of my high school teachers, her name was Miss Lillian Jenkins. I remember one time when I was in her class, and she started losing weight, and everybody's like, oh, what's wrong with Miss Jenkins? And she said that she prayed to the Lord that he would help her to lose weight. I was like, in my mind, yeah, right. Because, back then, you know, we were immature, okay? You know, some students probably thought she was taking diet pills or whatever. But as I got older, that came back to my memory, and I realized that she said she prayed. Miss Jenkins prayed sincerely to the Lord that he would help her to lose weight. And she lost weight. So on my journey, I prayed to the Lord because I had a health condition that it made my weight fluctuate, and I prayed to God and he helped me. A lot of people are so judgmental of people because they're obese, and you don't know why they're obese, honey. It could be health reasons. It could be a number of reasons. Medications make your weight fluctuate. Different diseases make your weight fluctuate. And some of the medications people need to live, right? And so the medications have side effects. And it's beyond their control. So I encourage you, don't beat yourself up, honey. If you lost a lot of weight, a lot of people, they walk around here like they've been doing the work and lost weight. But honey, some of these people are on medication, and the medication makes them lose weight. And when the medication makes them lose weight, it's like, people thinking that you put the work in, and you actually did not put the work. It was the medication. I lost a lot of weight when I got the shunt removed. I got the shunt removed. For those of you who follow me on my journey, you have to go back and watch, some of the videos as I talk about my journey. I had my VP shunt removed 2 years ago. As a result of having my shunt removed, I lost weight. Because the weight was making my stomach, the shunt was making my stomach swell. And I've seen a significant difference in my life just by way of having that shunt removed. It was easier for me to lose weight. I was already eating right. Already doing that, and I apologize for that. I was already losing weight, and I was already, I was eating right. And then that happened. And when the shunt was removed, because I had already put that prayer, I sent that prayer up to heaven, honey, asked God to help me. Got the shunt removed because I knew it was working against me and not for me. And here I am today. So, I was eating right, but I was not getting the results that I needed because that device wasn't working for me. So you can do it. It could be something causing you to gain weight, and you are eating right, and you're like, Lord, what is it going to take? You got to be in tune with your body. And that's one thing about eating has taught me, and I do apologize for all these little notifications that are going off on my phone. But that's one thing about eating healthy is that you make better choices. You're very careful about what you put in your body. You don't let no one disturb your peace, honey, because it brings about more peace. If you didn't have peace, it'll definitely give you peace. And if you had peace, it enhanced that peace, it increased. And so you're very careful about who you allow in your space. You really begin to reassess things in your life, relationships. And I ain't talking about necessarily with just significant others, all relationships, work relationships, spiritual relationships, everything. It makes you reassess everything in your life. And that's why that mental clarity, anytime you're eating right, it makes you feel better. You look better in your clothes. It brings about more confidence. Those are the things that it brings about. And as you take a holistic approach to eating healthy, you will shy away from medications. You will shy away from things that you used to do. And then when you eat something that will contaminate your body, meaning it doesn't agree with your body, or you were not supposed to eat that, you'll feel guilty, like me. I am transparent. On Sunday, as I celebrated my 30th day of 30 days of not having meat, honey, I decided I had some ice cream in there for over 30 days. And one of my friends, honey, you know who you are, you put me onto this ice cream, and it had been in there, honey, for over 30 days. And I pulled that out to celebrate, honey, and I ate it. And honey, when I ate that ice cream, I felt so guilty. So guilty. I said, why did you do that, Destiny? You should have been thrown that away. Because I really don't have anything left in the refrigerator that's unhealthy. Pretty much everything in my refrigerator as of today, 97% of everything in there is vegan. And so I'm transitioning to becoming vegan, as I told you before, because I'm just trying to find some better cheese options, honey, because I like a little cheese in my grits, honey. And I like other options. I like cheese on other things too. So once I find that cheese that I like, honey, I'm transitioning fully. I like to bake, and I want to learn how to make some vegan desserts and all of that. So in due time, I'll continue to share, and I'll come back later this week to talk about something else that I've learned. And I know I got one request to talk about skin, like what do I do to maintain my skin. I'll do a video on that, and I'm gonna talk about this little deodorant journey, honey, because you definitely want to hear about that. You might be tickled when you hear me talk about that, but we will talk about that. And that's all I wanted to share today. And again, I just thank you for your support. I feel so good. I just thank God for blessing me. I have introduced my journey to my daughter and my grand. And so I'm trying not to persuade them. Yeah, really, I am. Let me stop lying. I am trying to persuade them, but I'm trying to get them to where I am and introduce that to them so they can incorporate it in their diet. Even if they don't go fully vegetarian or become vegan, I just want to introduce it to them. So as I'm learning new recipes or finding new ways, I share it with them. And my daughter has definitely started, she was eating vegetables anyways, but she's tried some of the different things that I have introduced to her. And so those in my life that I love and support, I try to share it with them as well. And then lastly, before I go, my inspiration for being on this journey is for some very special people in my life. I have a godson named Travell. He indirectly introduced it to me, because I love when people always say they didn't eat meat before, like my cousin Tangi. I used to talk about, meat and food and stuff to her. And I used to always say, girl, I'm sorry, I forgot you don't eat meat. She said, no, that don't bother me. And now I didn't get it, but now I get it where she was coming from. It didn't bother her because I didn't entice her to eat meat. That didn't change anything. She still was, vegan. So I'm very grateful to Tangi, Travell, other people in my life. I met Kim. I've had people tell me that they had cancer and that when they were in remission, they stopped eating meat and they just only ate fruit and vegetables. I was at a conference in December at the Hope Global Forum. If I stand correct, the CEO of Pfizer, the one who made that COVID, the company that made the COVID vaccine, he was diagnosed, I think, with prostate cancer. And he said that he stopped, they had called his family in and everything, and he stopped eating meat. He only ate fruits and vegetables, raw vegetables. And he only ate raw vegetables. And so it turned his life around, and he published a book. And I have that book, and so I have yet to read it. But I started listening to people, and everything started adding up. And that's why I said earlier in this video that something in the meat ain't clean. So if people who've had cancer in remission or was, whatever stage they were in their cancer journey, when they stopped eating meat, they noticed a significant difference. What does that tell you? So you have to choose wisely, I will say this, and I know I said that's why I don't do videos, honey. I don't know how to do these little 2-minute videos, honey, because I am very long-winded. But I will say this: I had got to a point in my life I did not like touching chicken when I was trying to clean it. I know you can use gloves, but what does it say if you have to put gloves on to clean meat? I just start rethinking things. Like, if you got to put gloves on to clean chicken, you know, make that make sense. So anyways, as I mentioned in the video of introducing my journey to becoming vegetarian, I'm not saying I never go back to meat. My outlook is different right now. And I'm on this journey that I want to stay on because now I fasted from meat, changed my diet and all that. So now it has become my lifestyle. So thank you so much for joining me today on my journey to health, becoming healthy again. It feels good to unlearn habits and adapt new habits. And I am glad to be here. And for those who want to join me on this journey, come along because you can do anything you put your mind to. Okay? Love you and take care.